Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. At the feet of God, again and again we are prompted to repeat this. This is not a question answer session that is taking place between A and B. It is purely a dialogue that takes place within us. The sense of individuality or the thought raises some certain fundamental doubts, and the witness consciousness, the support, the Lord, the Spirit answers it. So while hearing this should be borne in mind. When are you going to give me such experience? Otherwise, it is a dialogue, we will hear a question and answer. So the main purpose of probably bringing this in the mind of Papa was that everyone should develop this attitude of talking to the indwelling spirit. And what should we talk? It depends upon the intensity of our aspiration. Because then so many hurdles are crop up, and then the hurdles are placed before the indwelling reality. So it is purely a dialogue between the sense of individuality with the indwelling reality. Because many of us would not have thought about these questions also. So probably Papa thought these are when you read this, when you develop this, when you pray for this attitude, something else will turn up. What is actually needed for us to give us a push in our spiritual journey, that we will ask. Anyway, having printed this, we are just going through it. It will help us intellectually, no doubt about it. But far more than the dialogue, the attitude that is developed, that is to be developed, is more important. Because it is not a dialogue between A and B. It's absolutely and purely 100% is an inner dialogue that is taking place. Anyway, we will read page number 27. Question. O mother, your name is Ram. What is your form, since name and form always go together? Answer. I am without name and form. To realize me as without these, O Ramdas, you have to first assume me as having them. Without name and form, it is difficult. So, he is also with name and form. So, we assume first. You are one, but the universe is full of diversity. It is made up of millions of forms. How is this mother? You are one, but there are many. I am one, formless, nameless. I choose to be many. Hence I have to assume forms without which I cannot be many. You are eternal, but how is it that your forms are perishable? It is as it should be. When one is real, one must be unreal. Otherwise, why should we say it should be real? Real comes because there is an unreal thing. So form is born, remains for a time, and then dies. Birth, change, growth, dissolution, that is the nature of form. How can you exist, O mother, when your forms perish? Just as, child, the gold remains even after the ornament is melted, during which process it loses its form, as also in the case of a lump of ice, which loses its form under heat, but the water of which it is made remains. Why did you wish to be many? We all would like to get the answer now. But you know, the answer is also evasive. I desire to have a play. And the play cannot be unless there be more than one. Hence I had to manifest myself as many. What do you gain by this play? Anandam, supreme bliss. How can you speak of bliss, O mother, when the world is seen full of misery? Understand, my child, it is I myself acting as miserable, happy, angry, etc. The anger of the angry man, the love of the lover, the agony of the sufferer, the happiness of the happy one, the drowsiness of the idler, the activity of the industrious man, all these are manifestations of one and the same cosmic energy. I myself acting as miserable, happy, angry, etc. Babaji says, an artist paints a variety of pictures on the same type of canvas with the same brush. A sitarist creates different ragas out of the same 7 notes. In literature, a variety of thoughts, ideas, feelings are expressed through the letters of the alphabet. Something on which you have to deeply think. 26 letters or 27 letters? English, right?
26.
With 26 letters, we are changing their position, and it gives us different meanings. It touches, it kindles different emotions. simple, innocent letters, no? A to Z, highly enlightening, deplorable, no? Just imagine. Same A to Z, they have picked up some words. Anger. Nobody will say that anger. In sattvic mood, we will never say that. He's angry. Just imagine. Same thing. Anything that touches, changes our reactions, our mindset, all come from this 26 innocent A to Z alphabets. Start thinking now. An artist paints a variety of pictures on the same type of canvas with the same brush. A sitarist creates different ragas out of the same 7 notes. In literature, a variety of thoughts, ideas and feelings are expressed through the letters of the alphabet. Same is the case with the creation. We find in it innumerable objects and propensities, but all of them are products of only 2 things, the eternal self and the eightfold Prakriti. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, reason, ego. These are the eightfold divisions of my nature. Just like from the 26 letters, so many combinations give so many types of meanings. It kindles so many types of vibrations, so many types of reactions and responses. Similarly, here the Almighty Lord and eightfold Prakriti. That means all the basic 5 elements, mind, intellect and the Ahankara. The sense of individuality. Sense of individuality, mind, intellect and the 5 elements put together, Prakriti. But all of them are products of the 2 things, the anger of the angry man, the love of the lover, the agony of the sufferer, the happiness of the happy one, the drowsiness of the idler, the activity of the industrious man. All these are manifestations of one and the same cosmic energy. These different emotions and urges, often contrary to each other, spring from the same source. As the cosmic energy within is one and the same is in all, the outer bodily cover of all is also the same in nature. The Lord is telling at the very outset that the self, full of consciousness, and the insentient Prakriti are the twin source from which all the creation has come into being. There are so many points for pondering, It will help us, no doubt. Not hearing. Again we remind ourselves, this is a dialogue that has come up from within. And such type of dialogue to come from within, we pray. When we close, so many other dialogues come, Not any of these fundamental questions. So what happens is when we sit and try for a dialogue, immediately the mind is taken out. Suddenly we realize we are trying to raise the question to the indwelling reality. Again we try, because of our preoccupation with the outer world is so much, it is difficult even to conceive of an inner dialogue. Forget about starting the dialogue. The fundamental question is that how to train our mind to have this inner dialogue. Then the texture, quality of the thought. That means by Nama chanting, we must develop this witness consciousness to some extent, And so the witness consciousness is put forward various questions by the chanter, the sense of individuality. So I think we can take it like this. Not that these are all a must, This could be one of the dimensions. So when we keep on chanting Ramnam, we try to develop a witness consciousness, especially when we chant mentally. So then the chanting entity becomes aware of the witnessing entity. The chanting entity becomes aware of the witnessing entity, and chanting stops. Again, thought goes out. Again we chant. So now we know. As we keep on trying this, the moment the witness consciousness is recognized, the chanting stops. And that blankness, Mataji used to say that blankness is profound, the blankness. But it won't stay there for long. It will be hardly for a fraction of a second. Again it goes out. So by trying this so many times, in so many days, at least the first tangible gain is we become aware of the indwelling reality in the form of witness consciousness. Now the sense of individuality, instead of allowing the mind to go out, can develop to raise these type of questions. So it is keeping itself fully engaged, like that pole, and the devil and the pole. The moment we don't allow, it will go out. Without our even knowing it, it will go out. So from that standpoint, we feel now that there is a need to know the question answer that is cropped up in Papa, so that we know what happens when such a one is tried or initiated. So we have to keep on reminding, this is not a talk between A and B. It is purely a dialogue by the sense of individuality with the indwelling reality, whom he has mentioned as mother, because these are all activity, creative. Activity relates to mother, Purusha and Purusha. Well, so how can you speak of bliss, O mother, when the world is seen full of misery? Understand, my child, it is I myself acting as miserable, happy and angry. That is why we remembered. Angry, anger of the angry man. How can you be acting as miserable and remain unaffected at the same time? Acting is always an appearance. It does not affect the actor. An actor pretends to be weeping, while all the time he remains internally at heart unmoved. So also with all other feelings and emotions. They are all highest, very difficult to understand. Because when you develop an emotion, to feel that I am not affected, just imagine how to reach the stage. Shuddhi or Ashuddhi, Shuddhi or Ashuddhi when we discuss.
We have to give an actor something. We have to give an actor.
You have to become
Really,
an actor.
you should give an actor.
You have to become an actor. No, if you have to become an actor, we should know the reality, no? Then only the body, mind, intellect complex can become an actor. An actor is one who knows that he is acting, no? He is different from the one that is actor. So what is the play of yours made of? It is made of three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Harmony, activity, dullness. What is this play of yours made of? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. By how is variety seen in the diversity? By countless modes of combination of these three qualities. These three gunas make together what is called Prakriti. That is why in Bhagavad Gita the other day we saw, everything is split into three. Speech, thought, action. Everything. Food, giving, austerity or discipline. Everything. In Bhagavad Gita, in 14th chapter, 17th chapter, 18th chapter, and some chapters are also there, where these things are explicitly discussed, exclusively discussed. Then I think we can even start now thinking to separate the other things. Other things, when thought is divided, when word is divided, when action is divided, it covers everything, is it not? So what is Sattva, what is Rajas, what is Tam? In what way it is going to help us? There we think we have to take the 50-50 formula. Prakritam and Prayatnam. My nature, which is made up of these three, brings out these types of thoughts, brings out this type of words, brings out this type of deeds. And then my Prayatnam, you have given me a freedom, 50%, by which I convert the tamas and rajas into sattvic, and then go beyond that. That is the tangible gain of this reading. Are we clear? Kindly think about it. When he says, all these are covered by countless modes of combination of these three qualities. How is variety seen? These three gunas make together what is called Prakriti.
Now, in God also made three creations, essence, and faces, isn't it? Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. So, Brahma should be creation, active. Vishnu should be essence, Tattva. Shiva should be tamas, bodham, gridam. Maybe I don't understand putting my thoughts.
They
are governed by Guna. It looks like that.
Our job is now to somehow understand the Prakriti nature, the Prakritam. That is all my thoughts, words, deeds are covered by these three. And then Rajas and Tamas, which is definitely pulling me away from the reality. Sattva is helping me to remember that. So we try with that, then we come to know intellectually through our spiritual preceptor or our shastra, that we have to transcend the rajas and tamas to the sattva, and from there to go beyond that also. That means when I chant Ram Nam, when I reach the mental state of silence, nothing is there. But if the chanting has to become sattvic, prayatna should be there. Just as Mataji the other day explained about bhajan, it applies to Ram Nam also. We can say which is the sattvic Ram Nam, which is rajasic Ram Nam, which is tamasic Ram Nam, leaving no deep impression. But when we chant Ram Nam in a sattvic way, it helps us to go beyond the sattvic. That is called silence. If I have to develop sattvic Ram Nam, during my non-chanting time, I should be able to develop sattvic qualities. If the rajasic qualities predominate in me, my chanting also will be dominated by rajasic qualities. Along with that, the tamasic, the dull.
So what we chant morning is, I think it will be rajasic attitude. Morning we are chanting Ram Nam, 7 o'clock, the power of it. This is the rajasic Ram. It looks like that way. Think of it.
We have some problem here.
We are active, We are very great passion.
There is a clear-cut definition of speech. Mataji had explained it. I am unable to handle this because of the antivirus protection expired, so it is suspended now. There it is elaborately mentioned.
Rama chanting,
No, about bhajan she has mentioned. She has mentioned. So we can apply the same thing to Ram Nam, no? Now it leads, Just now it just came up in our mind. That when we say sattvic, when she says, when the inner mother says, these three gunas make together what is called prakriti. So it covers everything. So that means, including my Ram Nam, which is 3 types. On some days you come and say, no, today is Ram Nam. That means Ram Nam by itself is sattvic or beyond sattvic. But we, because of our dominance of sattvic, rajasic and tamasic quality, we name it today, it was excellent. Today, it was somehow, it was not there. The rhythm was not there. The tala was not there. Something like that. So that means we can even now define which is sattvic Ram Nam, which is tamasic Ram Nam, which is rajasic Ram Nam.
Ram Nam makes us to sleep. This is tamasic or
Correct. Exactly.
This is making you to sleep.
We can take it that it leads to tamas. Dull. If I am enjoying the sweetness, I will not sleep, So now, having heard this much, we are trying to look at ourselves. Just like I should be careful in my speech, careful in my thoughts, careful in my actions, which will be directly reflected upon my chanting, because there is a direct attempt to reach it through chanting. We will come to that. This morning we read, the same text Papa says about the Ram Nam. So Ram Nam is a straight gate path, the straight visa to that. Okay. But if it has to become a visa, it has to go beyond sattva. If it has to go beyond sattva, first it has to become sattva. If it has to become sattva, we have to transcend the rajo and tamo attitude.
Depends upon the man who sings from
Definitely.
His mood, his way of...
No, not only that, whatever. Suppose at the time of chanting, At the time of reading, suppose you are reading or another reading,
I am in Rajasic mood, I am singing Ram Nam in Rajasic mood, like that.
then immediately, so many concepts may arise. Even the witness consciousness can be there. You are hearing. Who is hearing? Again the mind goes out. Who is hearing? Like that we may try. Suppose, no, mind is still going out. Okay, travel with the sound. Put a fence with the sound. So that it is always within. And finally, who is now hearing? Stop. So if we are very clear that we are every now and then we have to have a taste of this the witness consciousness, which is the final one. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. If that is clear at the time of hearing or reading, then not only that it becomes sattvic, we are trying to go beyond the sattvic. Just imagine if these thoughts have to come at the time of chanting, the mind, it should become sattvic, Now we know that Papa was able to do it because of the various disciplines, prayatna, he did. His prakritam got changed to sattvic. And because of that, he was able to feel the witness consciousness. You have to see. This is the outcome of our internal churning, When we keep on churning internally, we have to find out, are we moving towards the stillness? So morning when we go and hear, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. One time. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram. Each tune, what does it do? In what way it impacts us? Are we moving towards this? Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful, nice. What is important is it leading us to stillness, to taste the stillness?
Again, it is depending upon the person who hears this.
Who chants and who hears.
Both. For example, yesterday morning, Sri Krishna asked, how was this Thursday Ram Ram? We two were there in the room. One man told, super. And I told, it is so. I thought like that. And it is depending upon me. It has not appealed to me perhaps, something like that. Or my mood, something like that. It depends upon the people who hear. As well as the people who chant. That also is there. One man told, super. I told this also. I thought so. Then he told the Greenland told. I'm telling you. That's what happened yesterday morning.
Now the purpose of chanting is that you should do. When he says clearly that these three gunas make together what is called prakriti, producing all actions. Okay. That is why in Bhagavad Gita they have split everything into three. Everything into three. So that means we should know that Mataji had specifically mentioned about this bhajan. We stretch it to Ram Nam. That's all. There may be different words, but here it will be different. That's all. So now we should know how to make my Ram Nam sattvic. Then I know that if I have to make my Ram Nam sattvic, during the non-chanting time, All my thoughts, words and deeds should also be sattvic. So it boils down to this. Good. Today's reading, ultimately. Because we are all votaries of Brahma. We all derive, our fuel, our incentive is Brahma. I don't know which page.
Put the page number.
What happens when a man in Shuddha Sattva attends a Tamoguna bhajan or a Rajoguna bhajan? Would he get drawn to the external noise and clearance? Mataji. A person who is in a state of Shuddha Sattva, we are talking about.
How it was supposed to be Siddha.
Anyway, we will read this and then will never go anywhere near Tamasic or Rajasic bhajan. He will be careful to avoid them. Not this. Mataji referred to the thrilling bhajan rendered by a party of visiting Italian devotees last night, Peter and group, concluding with the rendering of a biblical psalm in their own language. Mataji, Papa used to say that just as in everything else, in bhajan also 3 gunas were predominant and there were 3 kinds of bhajan. Papa in fact wanted me to go deep into every kind of bhajan that I came across and see for myself which guna dominated. Bhajan steeped in tamoguna means a lot of noise. Like big shows and processions where there is more thunder than devotion, more show than sincerity. Tamoguna stands for hitting, striking. And such bhajans are marked by banging of drums and the like. Bhajans are marked, Rajoguna bhajans are what you hear in temples and mutts. The Veda Goshas, mantras, the hymns recited during pujas. Sattvic bhajan, on the other hand, is the quiet, deep, peaceful, devotional singing which helps us to go within ourselves, which puts our minds at rest, makes us feel like imbibing of it more and more. There is one more bhajan of Shuddha Sattva, but that is internal bhajan and not one that you can hear outside. You are then lost in contemplation of Purushottam Papa and it has stillness within you. Papa explained these things to me in such minutest detail because he was anxious that I should not miss anything. So suppose we stretch, bhajan, Ramnam, then it becomes clear. So we need sattvic bhajan, quiet, deep, peaceful, devotional singing which helps us to go within ourselves, which puts our minds at rest, makes us feel like imbibing of it more and more. So that is the important, So if we think we are not progressing, if we think we are not progressing with the help of Brahma, now I think Papa is giving us some clues. You can diagnose for yourself whether the Ramnam is chanted or the bhajan is rendered or your reading is rendered or your hearing is attempted on the sattvic plane. If it is tamasic, if it is rajasic, then we can know for ourselves. It is not staying with us. Whatever joy we had, it is not staying. When there were these round-the-clock Ramnam chanting during the important days, we were all enthusiastically joining it, especially in early 90s when we started the Sakandana. On the important 7 days in a year, we used to have night throughout the all. At that time, to prevent our slipping into sleep, we used to have, dynamic Ramnam chanting.
That is down.
And now we understand it is Tamasic. That is why after morning, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when the Aarti or we come back here, we get tired. Then the reason was, we analysis was going on even then. We were even went to the extent of telling Swamiji whether this is going to help anybody, accepting the sentiment that we had attended. Swamiji simply smiled. It might not, depends upon the person. So during, we are not used to it, the night bhajans, So once in a way we do that. And when once we do that, in order to prevent that the sleep does not overtake us, we used to have, the speed will be more, our accompaniments, play of the accompaniments will be more vibrant. And especially during the last 10 minutes, the speed will be, 150 miles per hour. And the Ganjara or whatever it will be, it will be like this. At that time there is a thrill, and afterwards we get exhausted.
This is purely downly.
So from nothing we can say it is good. At that time, at least, instead of sleeping.
Avoid sleep.
That is the simple thing. To avoid sleep overpowering, we are. Well, now we know
we jump also.
Yeah.
We jump also. Ding, ding. We sleep. We fall asleep.
Even the other day, when we were having a program like this, we were able to witness Ramnam chanting when everybody is chanting. So then what happens then? Do we close our eyes and chant and concentrate? No. We look at everybody's face. Yeah. What's the purpose? If we start looking at everybody's face and then chanting is to take me to the stillness. Every time I should keep on hammering on my head. Finally, it should help me to get a glimpse of the stillness within me. Papa has made it very clear. Utterance of God's name is to make the mind ultimately still, free from all thoughts. It is in the stillness that you know and realize God. Am I moving towards that? Am I moving towards that? Somebody can take the portion of that. There also he says about the mental chanting. So morning when we mostly we try to hear. When we sit silently, we have to be conscious in the first place that the God we seek is in our own heart first. Then mentally repeat His name. Make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease and it becomes perfectly still. Clear, no? There is no ambiguity here. Mentally repeat His name. Make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease and it becomes perfectly still. If it does not easily become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with an attitude of self-surrender. Why are you making the mind to go? One part you are making the mind to chant. Other part you are making, please go. You are behind everything. So the moment we bring him into the picture, the wandering starts. Then he says, next step, we try to develop a witness consciousness. So this mental chanting should lead us to stillness. Stillness means we cannot explain now. immediately after we come out of the stillness, we know we had stillness. So who is now telling that we had the stillness? That is what is called witness consciousness. Consciousness is there. It has witnessed the silence. It is witnessing the chanting. It is witnessing the silence. So we try to develop a witness consciousness. This is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. Witness consciousness itself is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. In fact, this awareness itself is God realization. So Papa is putting how with Ramnam. So if I have to reach this stage, during my non-chanting time, so many things have to take place. So it should become sattvic. A sattvic bhajan, a sattvic Ramnam chanting is a must. I should be very clear that Ramnam chanting should lead me to the stillness. Because stillness is something which will abide with us always. Ramnam chanting may come and go, but stillness is always there. Stillness is my original being. So when I take part or when I lead the Nam Japa, if this is getting clarity, if I become very, very clear what for I am chanting, so that every time when we chant, there will be an attempt on our part to get a glimpse of the stillness, the witness consciousness. And morning session is very interesting. When we start witnessing, hearing it, we don't take part in the chanting. Each one has to devise some method.
In the morning when we see a 7 o'clock, that is good time.
I think of all the chantings in this ashram, the silent chanting and single chanting, solo chanting, that is the sattvic chanting.
That is morning 5:30 to 6 o'clock.
Mataji, why Mataji said that now is becoming clear. Where nobody joins, no accompaniments excepting the harmonium person, and slow tune, Even if the mind goes out, it is alright. We are slowly trying the mind to put it on rails. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Is the tune,
Nowadays, even the afternoon Ramanam also, some people, they start sometimes, some 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they slow Ramanam. For example, today Sundar was singing. Half an hour he was singing only slow Ramanam. Same raga. And the 15 minutes, last minute, you just fast it. Like that.
Okay.
Many of us, we do like that. When we listen, automatically Papa has led us to start with Ramana. I think so. I will not planned it. It has come like that. Nowadays I am writing. I also think 15 minutes slowly. You take this thing, 15 minutes slow.
Shri Ram Jai
Papa has led us to start with Ramana. You have knowledge.
Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. This is something on which we will all try to ponder deeply.
I also feel like
Mentally repeat his name. Make the mind repeat the name until all its waves cease. And it becomes perfectly still. If it does not become still, we have to continue the repetition of the name mentally with the attitude of self-surrender. We try to develop the witness consciousness. This is a state of awareness of the immortal and radiant truth within us. In fact, this awareness itself is God realization. Awareness. So Mataji had also clarified now. No? Through Mataji we got the clarity now. Papa used to say that just as in everything else, in bhajan also, just as in everything else, this aspect we should not forget. These three gunas, thought, words and deeds. Three gunas were predominant and there were three kinds of bhajan. Just as in everything else, in bhajan also, in Ramnam also we can say, the three gunas were predominant and were the three kinds of Ramnam chant. Papa in fact wanted me to go deep into every kind of bhajan that I came across and see for myself which guna dominated. Bhajan steeped in tamoguna means a lot of noise. Like big shows and processions where there is more thunder than devotion, more show than sincerity. Tamoguna stands for hitting, striking, and such bhajans are marked by banging of drums and the like. Bhajans are, Rajoguna bhajans are that you hear in the temples and mutts, the Veda Ghosh and the mantras or hymns recited during pujas. Sattvic bhajan, on the other hand, is the quiet, deep, peaceful, devotional singing which helps us to go within ourselves, which puts our minds at rest and makes us feel like imbibing of it more and more. So there also whether it makes, puts our mind at rest.
it will feel calmness. Calmness we may feel by hearing the bhajan. A sort of peace. Peace will come back to here. That is very important.
But if you are conscious of the bhajan, let us try. Every day we are chanting Ram Nam, either vocally or mentally. We can watch. We need not discourage or encourage anybody's chanting, because it may be a little faster, it may be a little louder. It's okay for him, That's why he is chanting it. And he will come back to the sattvic when the mind is trained. Suppose with this book knowledge, suppose we go and pass some comments, we will be wounding them,
Yes,
At least they are deriving some joy out of it.
Yes, correct.
So hearing this, let us not straight away go and... No. When we do that, we will try to do this. This is applicable only for sadhakas. So we will try to chant Ram Nam in a sattvic way, with the idea that whether it is deep, whether it is peaceful, whether it helps us to go within ourselves. That means, within ourselves means the witness consciousness is being developed or not. We will see for ourselves. And if we are unable to do that, the mind goes, we may do a little faster. Okay, at least now we will know, no? We will try to make it slow, make it slow. We remember when we were chanting in the night, in top voice we used to say. So we will be looking at the Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram on the, and then do that, So many of our co-devotees used to say, I think it is going to burst. Because you will be in full spirit. There is a particular raga, at that time it will come. And everybody will be doing this, and we will be floating in that raga, and then we will be looking at it. We don't want the mind to go anywhere. Looking at Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Anywhere it comes, but looking at it, ensure that we don't ramble upon it. But it will be in full spirit. Then I remember somebody used to say, we don't know. Anyway, one thing is there, the moment it is over, we feel tired. Again, our next program comes, we used to go. And I was telling Swamiji whether it is going to serve any purpose. We are all excited, not out about it. First he kept quiet. Then he said, it depends upon how you take it. Suppose we are in a position to get that feeling of his closeness, okay. So it depends upon the person.
His attitude.
Yeah.
His bhava.
Whether the stillness he gets because of speed chanting or slow chanting, we cannot pass judgment. But ultimately it should lead us to stillness. That much is clear now. We will do some more thinking tomorrow about it. It's a very important topic of our given. So we will see that how is this variety changed is versus by countless modes of combination of these three qualities. These three gunas make together what is called Prakriti. O mother, are you separate from Prakriti? O child, Prakriti exists because of me. I am not in Prakriti. Easy to pass off these, but you have to spend some time on these words. How do we understand? Prakriti exists because of me, but I am not in Prakriti. Is Prakriti eternal? Individually not, but collectively she is. Bear in mind always that Prakriti has only a relative existence and not absolute. I am the only absolute. If sorrow and pain are unreal, why should there be sympathy, compassion, charity, love, truth, goodness, purity, and such virtues in this life? Realization of the state in which this world is witnessed as a play can be attained only by recognizing me as one appearing as many. The three gunas have to be transcended before absolute unity is realized. Now this oneness is attained only through the practice of universal love, purity, truth, compassion, and charitable deeds. That is oneness. That is why we rush up to and help others. We become one with Him. These three gunas have to be transcended before. Now this oneness is attained only through the practice of all these goodness. What is this realization? Realization makes you only a blissful witness of the play of the three gunas, thus remain always free from all the effects of pressure and pain and other pairs of opposites. Yourself untouched, unaffected. Then it is that you will have realized the fact, you are as myself. This is how Mother told us the second part of the dialogue. Actually, we cannot read like this and then go. Every dialogue needs some pondering deep. So kindly try your own way, and wherever you feel it is not clear, you share with us. We will also try. Suppose we have not tried, we will also try. We have been assured that she will answer from within. provided we ask. Nowadays the problem is we don't ask. We are asking others, thinking them as others. If we are asking others as the form of the indwelling reality, it is alright. We are asking others as others, different from others. So that is why it doesn't stay with us. So now we are praying that you should train my mind to ask yourself such questions. Please. Whenever I get to the so-called doubt, I go to the library, I go to the bookstall, I go to the memory and take what others have told. And that is why the doubt remains as a doubt throughout. Clarity, when the clarity comes, the doubt should not be there, no? But if it is coming from outside and if I have not done the manana, assimilation, I will forget. Next day again I chant Ramnam, same old practice will come. But suppose I assimilate, this is the purpose. So when during my pause moments, sattvic moments, when I chant mentally, when I see for myself how the mind behaves, and then try to correct it, and then the guidance comes from within how to correct it, then slowly we become aware of the communication between the sense of individuality and the indwelling reality. That means, we are preparing ourselves for a elaborate dialogue. Yes, correct. So some preparation has to be made to develop this inner dialogue. Otherwise, when you close your eyes again, the mind will take off. Correct. Now, yes, now she is taking there first. So you develop now practice. How do you develop the practice? When we chant Ramnam, we can watch how the mind behaves. Either during the chanting or after the chanting, we can see how the mind behaves. Then we come to know that during the non-chanting time, how do I behave? The same thing it behaves inside also. Mind is not changing, The same mind, what it does during the non-chanting time, it does the same thing in the chanting time. So if it is sattvic in the non-chanting time, the chanting also becomes sattvic. Oh. So I couldn't concentrate yesterday because of this. Oh. So I try to now make it sattvic. When I make it sattvic, slowly I get a glimpse of this. That means I become aware of the presence. And with that presence, I start dialogue. Is that clear? We don't know. Tomorrow you can send us. So we have to first prepare when Papa has brought out the dialogue, Divine Mother with the sense of individuality, questioned by the sense of individuality, answered by the Divine Mother. If this has to be facilitated for us, what should we do? So we take Ramnam, for example. We close our eyes and chant, see how the mind behaves. Then we come to realize that the mind behaves because of its training outside. So then I start becoming more and more attentive to how do I talk, how do I act, how do I think. Slowly I start, putting it on the rails of sattvic. From tamasic and rajasic I pull and put it on the rails towards sattvic. And then, when it develops, when the proper ambience has been created, then the dialogue can start. Yeah. Today is a revelation. So through Ramnam chanting we can try that. Because we have nothing else to hold on. All other austerities we don't do that, no. There are so many prescribed. But our austerity is Ram Nam chanting. Ram Nam chanting with so many other things. So we will try to bring in this. We will watch ourselves. We are very clear now that either of these three gunas are dominating. And that is why we are not deriving the fullest benefit from the chanting. Because during the non-chanting time, the mind has not been trained. It is still craving for so many things. So when I try to discipline the mind, prayatna, I have understood the prakrita. That means I have understood the sabhava of my mind. I have been given some freedom by the Almighty, the indwelling reality, to change its course, which is called saprayatna. And I try this. And when the mind is slowly changed, when the mind is slowly trained to be sattvic as much time as possible first, then the chanting also becomes sattvic. And when the chanting takes place in the sattvic mood, we get a glimpse of the stillness, the core of the ultimate aim. And then, these are all when we are doing it individually, mind you. This cannot be tried in a congregational chanting. So many people of different types come there. Everybody likes certain types. Somebody wants a accompaniment, somebody wants a little speed, chanting it with a little more speed. We will go along with it, okay? But for us, we will definitely see whether the chanting is taking place in a sattvic mood, and then ultimately whether we get a glimpse of our original nature. So kindly think about it. We may get some more dimensions. This is what comes up now. So every word of this, this is not unlike, at the inquest of God. This is what do you call it? Graduation, eh? There you can easily read, because there are every chapter there is an episode stamping around, authenticating the theory. Every chapter authenticates the theory there, theme. Here no episodes. Here only me and him is there. Nobody else. So in order to ensure that it doesn't slip into an intellectual or academic pursuit, I must try and then see. That's why Papa has beautifully brought out the expression of these three gunas. And emphatically it is told that I am there in everything in these three gunas. And then finally he says you have to go beyond these three gunas. Something, we have to keep on. Kindly think about it. By the time we meet tomorrow, everybody's mind will be more and more receptive. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.